Welcome to part 4 of my rant about Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch. Week number 4. Let's go! So it seems like you guys are pretty much enjoying my rants about these 3 favorite shows of mine from MTV. So in the first part, I talked about these 3 shows and what they were all about and how long did they ran on MTV. Part 2, I talked about what were my favorite episodes of these shows. Last week, part 3, I talked about all the characters, what do I like about that character, and who were my favorite characters from each show. Now, in part 4 of Celebrity Deathmatch, Daria and Beavis and Butthead, I'm going to talk about them coming out with video games. Yeah, if y'all didn't know, Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch all came out with video games. Probably due to their popularity. You know how TV shows get so popular they start coming out with video games? Well, we had a few TV shows, or a couple I should say, from the 90s or the early 2000s coming out with video games. The first show that I've seen come out with video games was The Simpsons. Then Beavis and Butthead, then Rocko's Modern Life, then Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Daria, South Park, Celebrity Deathmatch, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Rocket Power, etc. Yeah, these 3 shows came out with video games probably due to its popularity. So as usual, I'm going to start off all the games that Beavis and Butthead came out with during and after the show's run back in the 90s. So the first Beavis and Butthead game that came out was MTV's Beavis and Butthead, or Beavis and Butthead the Game, for the Game Gear, Sega Genesis, and the Super Nintendo. The Sega Genesis storyline of Beavis and Butthead was the boys were buying tickets to go see Gwar in concert. A dog snatched the tickets out of Butthead's hand and tries to get it back. But a lawnmower runs over the tickets, and now the boy has to find each pieces of the Gwar tickets by going through each level of the game. Now the Super Nintendo storyline of the Beavis and Butthead game was a little different. And I did a review on the Super Nintendo version of Beavis and Butthead 3 years ago, since I used to own the Super Nintendo version. If I have a review of the Beavis and Butthead game on my old phone, then I will upload it in honor of the game's 24th anniversary on November the 1st. The Super Nintendo storyline of Beavis and Butthead was on the couch watching TV while they were flipping through the channels. They see a commercial that says Gwar was coming to concert, and they actually wanted to go to the Gwar concert since they're fans of this band. But they have no money on them, they're broke. So they decided to take pictures of themselves doing cool things, thinking that it would get them into the concert for free. Now the second Beavis and Butthead game that came out a year after the first one was Beavis and Butthead in Virtual Stupidity. And I heard that Beavis and Butthead Virtual Stupidity had positive reviews. And pretty much all the rest of the Beavis and Butthead games came out on the PC, such as Beavis and Butthead in Virtual Stupidity, Beavis and Butthead in Calling All Dorks, Beavis and Butthead in Wiener Takes All, Beavis and Butthead in Little Thingies, Beavis and Butthead in Screen Wreckers, Beavis and Butthead Bunghole at One, and Beavis and Butthead Do You. And there was an unreleased game called Beavis and Butthead Do Hollywood, which was announced for the PlayStation 1 back in 1998. There has been no Beavis and Butthead game since 1999, but if there was plans to make another game, I will definitely go out and buy it. How about make an action game, or how about a platformer, or how about a beat 'em up game, kind of like The Simpsons or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game? So that's pretty much all the games for Beavis and Butthead. Now, here's all the video games for Daria, and it looks like Daria only has 2 games. One called Daria's 6 Sad Life Planner. This game pretty much is a software that is oriented towards teenagers. It acts as a digital journal, address book, calendar, and planner with Daria-based themes, graphics, and quotes, as well as video and audio clips. The audio clips feature the same voice actors as on the TV show. This game was released on November 13th, 1999. Of course, this game received mixed to negative reviews. Allgame gave the game 2 out of 5 stars, while praising some aspects such as the screensaver and the password production feature. The review stated that overall the program was dull and offered little to keep people interested in using it, concluding, maybe the point is that it's supposed to be a little boring, as the title would indicate. Now here's the second Daria game that I used to play, called Daria's Inferno. The storyline was Daria falls asleep in English class while Mr. O'Neill is reading Dante's Inferno. She finds herself in her own inferno, taken from the distaste she finds in her world. In her dream, Daria must recover 5 items stolen from the school, or the entire student body will be placed in detention. I played like bits and pieces of this game, and I have to say, this was released on November 28, 2000. This game, Daria's Inferno, it sucked. It was terrible, and it just didn't click with me. I think I prefer Beavis and Butthead Virtual Stupidity over Daria's Inferno. Allgame grade the Daria's Inferno game a 1.5 stars out of 5, finding faults with the game's short length and ease of play, as well as disparaging the dull and unimaginative cartoon graphics. Weekly Entertainment gave it a C-, stating that the game was nothing short of a trip to hell. And you should know what that word is spelled. Now let's go to the Celebrity Deathmatch video game. And Celebrity Deathmatch only has 1 video game. The game is pretty much plays exactly like the TV show. You know, you have celebrities, not real but made out of clay, and they basically fight each other to the death. The game will be 15 years old on October the 14th, the PS2 and Xbox version, and the PS1 version will be 15 on October 21st, as well as the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. It has 27 total celebrities, 20 from the start, and 7 unlockable. Regular versions of Nick Diamond and Johnny Gomez are not playable. There are also 4 creative fighters, male and female, with each 2 sets of fighting styles. You have celebrities like the late Anna Nicole Smith, Busta Rhymes, Carmen Electra, Carrot Top, Dennis Rodman, Jerry Springer, Marilyn Manson, Mr. T, NSYNC, Tommy Lee, and many more. You also have Wizard Johnny Gomez and Gladiator Nick Diamond. Looking back on this game nearly 15 years later, this game really sucked. It fucking sucked. I didn't like the Celebrity Deathmatch game when it first came out. And to this day, I still don't like it. The graphics are terrible. The controls are terrible. It's hard to use your finisher move on your opponent. But I do praise the games. I do praise that the voice actors have provided their characters in this game. especially Judge Mills Lane providing his own voice, especially after he suffered a stroke a year before this game came out. But besides praising the game's voice actors providing their characters of this game still sucks. So if you see the Celebrity Deathmatch game anywhere on eBay, look for something else because it's definitely not worth your time. And with that being said, that wraps up part 4 of my rant about Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch coming out with video games, either during or after each show's run on MTV. I'm so sorry that I had to do this rant so late, but I'm not going to upload until later on today because I was busy doing other things, and plus I had to work today. So I apologize if I'm doing this rant at 2:12 in the morning Houston time, but I will upload this rant a little later on today. So make sure you like this video if you liked it. If you like my content, subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell for any video that I upload. And I'll catch you guys later on today about a match that aired on Monday Night Raw 15 years ago on September 29th. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. Peace. Last part of this rant coming next week.